Hi all. I have a little bit of time tonight, so I was going to do some review of material design and Xaml pull requests. So figured why not stream and go through. So that's my game plan. Probably won't go very long, but figured I'd get a little bit of work done. So pulled up on master and GitHub all the things. So let's take a look here. Pull requests, because there's a couple interesting ones in here. This refactored snackbar one interests me since we just recently did a bunch of snackbar work. This switches it so that it no longer has a long-running task and instead can use the dispatcher, which I am a fan of. So we are going to start there, and can I? Oh, come on. What is your problem? Could not. Note to self. Don't have it hidden and try to open the PR. Okay, good to know. So let's fire this guy up. The PR is probably fairly straightforward, but this type of change, especially threading related stuff, is really hard to just review inside of GitHub. So kind of want to take a look at the actual code in here, because pretty much everything is buried inside of this snackbar message queue, and the snackbar stuff just has a simple straight up invoke. So fairly straightforward, and more importantly, just going to run the demo and run through some of the usual snackbar tests. This would be a wonderful one to go through and do some UI tests on. That's actually an interesting one I've been thinking a little bit about, and expanding on to make sure that we can actually do some theming tests. I realize that there's a bit of a problem with just UI tests and just unit tests on a theming library, in that a lot of times I really want to write tests over my XAML and my triggers, verify those things work. So may look at doing something a little more. So that one's simple. Don't care too much about this. This one's more interesting, right? So mouse over shouldn't dismiss. 2, 1. Move mouse off. Dismisses. Okay, I think showing message for 5 seconds. One of these guys has a, I want to make sure the accent bar dismisses. There we go. It does. Okay, well, this change is looking fairly good already. Everything, all of the important bits of functionality appear to work. So let's take a look. Snackbar message queue. Okay, so let's take a look at how this works. So we'll crank that up a little bit. So collapse this up and collapse that region. Might do a little move around of some of this stuff here. So on the Stackbar message queue itself, the key bit is this semaphore slim specifically, and this is one of the things that you definitely want to pay attention to. So semaphores usually get described almost like if you've got keys to a dressing room or similar, right? Where you have only so many slots where things can go in. The problem is this guy actually has a overload that takes in a single int, and the big risk factor here is when you use this overload. The first one is how many items do I have, and the second bucket is how many total things do I have. The problem is if you just use the initial count, the overall count allows you to go up to int max value, which means you can effectively over release these. So always good to set a max count when it is known. So with that in mind, bounce back here. So this guy here, so the region changed a little bit. This is now holding on to a UI element, which is interesting. A little cleanup. So I kind of want to take a look at this guy. So specifically this UI element. And what is this wait handle? Is this still being used? Yes. So there is still a long-running task for actually doing the publishing. So that has the await task run. This is coming in here on a mouse leave, so this will get invoked on the UI thread. And dispatch, okay. Seems simple enough. The dispose method has me interested. In general, this is not the normal dispose pattern, and I'm wondering if we should go through and take care of that. Mouse enter, mouse leave, the registrations match. The risk with the dispose pattern like this is it'll work inside of a using declaration, but if you forget to make sure that this object is disposed and the garbage collector cleans it up, you will not get invoked. But given that this is a private class, this is a little bit less of an issue. Okay, so let's keep heading down here. Start duration. It's the next one that we're interested in. This guy here. This new method. Looks like it. I might move this guy down. Just in general, having this below the constructors. Pretty minor thing, but I think having, in general, try to group those things a little bit. So let's see. I'm going to do that as well. Switch it to an is call. Completion time. State time.now. Add minimum. That's what all changed. Pretty much the entire contents of this method. So let's take a look at this. Granularity. This keeps the event waiting. Simpler rather than actually watching play, pause, play, pause. So task factory start new. So this really should just be a task.run. Unless the only time you need task factory is if you're going to use one of the additional overloads. If you're just doing a simple action delegate, there's no need to do it. Task run, and we can do figure await false here. So what this will do is typically, well, I guess this doesn't actually matter. It's not being awaited. This is a fire and forget. That is interesting. I want to look at your usages now. This starts it and then waits for completion. Whereas this guy here starts. Okay, so this guy just effectively keeps looping. Not sure how well. I'd have to come back to this because this is going to start the running. Because what is, well, because this is ultimately designed to block, right? Because this is going to come in here and wait. So because you're initially not going to be past the completion time. Granularity. Actually, play pause, play pause. This comes down, duration past handler, wait 1. So this thread's going to start and block. The only thing that worries me about this is effectively going to be blocking a thread pool thread. But I don't, that's no worse than what it was, right? Because before it was already doing that. Yeah. That seems very reasonable. All through there. Yeah, and so this guy here, snackbar message queue constructor. So let's go back up here. Dispatcher from thread, current thread. So this guy here is just a regular Poco. I'm actually tempted to go one step further here, right? And go like this, because I do know there are people who enjoy actually using this outside of WPF applications. So specifically if you maybe are embedding this inside of a WinForms application or similar. Message duration. And I think what I'm going to do is this. Right? So I think we're going to just move this guy down. And then this guy here is just going to go like this. Message duration. And we're going to have this guy throw here. Right? And then this guy here will do dispatcher, and we'll throw an argument null exception. Argument null exception. All right. Name of dispatcher. And that way, if you do want to instantiate this from elsewhere, you can. Right? You're no longer tightly coupled to the current thread. Now with that said, I don't think anybody is likely to be doing this from a background thread, but if you are, this would be a fallback option. Right? So if you need it, it is there. Okay, so let's keep going down. Took this from dispatcher object where it gets dispatcher and current, but this returns a new dispatcher of the current does not have one. See here. Take a look at this. So current dispatcher. So this guy here. Yeah, so it will intentionally trying to get the null back if there isn't one from the thread. So what does from thread do? Threading dispatcher. Okay, so that I think is fine. Fixed up the spelling there, and then the pairing. We dropped the lock. Paired snack bars. I'm curious to look at this. Fix that to an is null real quick. So the reason for switching to an is null versus an equals equals null is equals equals can be overridden. This is a reference equality to null. So just in the event that at some point in time someone overrides the equality operator on Stackbar and do something wrong, this will guarantee that it's still doing a reasonable null check. This guy here, I don't understand. I think we still need that, don't we? Well, we're going to keep going. I'm not entirely convinced that this does not need, that this lock is unneeded. Because so let's just confirm, right? So find all references. Paired snack bars, add, remove, find snack bar. So this guy is the only invocation of it, right? So this is in show next async. Find all references. I'm assuming this is going to be tied to the dispatcher. So it's only, so show is only invoked from the dispatcher thread. But by yeah, and this has to be created from the dispatcher thread. Well, likely, right? But that doesn't mean pair has to call. Has to be invoked. If only so that no. Yeah, got it. I think we do still need the lock over this, right? There's not a clean approach there. Yeah, I don't think there's a good way around it. We'll go and put that back in. So insert item, added false, added true. So whether it got added, right, and then pumps it in. Okay, show next async. Let's go take a look at that. Show next async. Do I not have? There's Karnak. There we go. Now it shows my keystrokes. Show next async. So we wait on show message semaphore, right? Which is fine. Drop into here while we aren't disposed and the dispatcher isn't being shut down. Find the snackbar, which is the method that iterates over the list. If we don't find one, wait and print out a warning and then keep looping. So effectively going until we get a reasonable snack bar. And if we don't get one, we're going to return all the way out of this guy. So we won't ever get down to here. This guy here, still using the lock over snack bar messages. Clean this up to another is null as well while I'm in here. Then show async. So there is let's do this. Figure await false. So even if this comes in on the UI thread, this will tell it that the continuation should not. I'm a little hesitant. Well, no. Well, this will be an easy test. Configure await false. Right? So everything after the await will likely be picked up on a background thread. The configure await false and configure await true are not guarantees, they're requests. Right? There will be so when this method gets invoked, everything after the await, configure await says you don't have to try and go back and marshal back to the other thread. You can pick it up with any thread you want. So configure await false is a definite performance perk, which is great. But what do you? Oh, IntelliCode, you are making my night. You are absolutely making my night. Okay, so this guy here, you are only actually being used there. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to just whack this method all together, put it there. It's only used in one spot, so we'll make it a local function. Let's see here. This does make me a little worried that we may have just broken this, because this configure await false will likely put us onto a background thread, which means this may blow up. We'll see. Simple test. Simple test. If we can show a message, right, we're good. I'm just not 100% confident that's not going to be very unhappy with me for cross-threading. Seems to be happy. I can spell snack bar. Wow. Hold that thought. One Mountain Dew. One. I promise it's green. It's just doesn't play well with green screens. Okay, so boom. Great. Still works. Still works as we expect. Send. Click. That's not good. Well, dang. Now I broke something. So let's just confirm that it was my stuff that broke it. Stash my changes. And rebuild. Let's just confirm that it was my stuff that just broke that. So when you click the button on this snack bar, it should dismiss it and bring up the next one in that case. So did I just miss this before? Yep, so my stuff broke it. Okay, fine. What did I break? Which of these are likely the culprits? Not those, not those. This configure await and the show next async. So pop that. And let's see, show next async. I am wondering if this guy should be let's see, snackbar. Oh, I'm debugging. That's why it's still unhappy. Sheesh. Sheesh. So marshal that guy off to the snack bar, and then, well, should we do that? This is private and only being invoked in one place. I think given that it's being invoked from a dispatcher thread, maybe we just do this, right? Be very configure await true, right? So we are going to tell it very explicitly, come back to the thread that you started on, and because this guy is being invoked from the dispatcher thread, it should come back to that thread every time. Only because this method is only invoked from a dispatcher invoke call. Just confirm that that still works and that I did not completely break it. There we go. Muchos better. Muchos better. Okay. So that cleans that up. Let's keep going down through here. So this is fine. We've reviewed that. We checked this. Semaphore slim. And this is being explicit. Sure. And this should be fine. I am curious. 350. I must have moved it down. I want to see where it's newing up that, because I don't understand why that would new up a new one rather than use the create call. So what are you inside of? Create and show. Go. Go. So what are you doing here? So there was this was using a create. That oh, that was just being okay. So that was pretty dumb and just straight up inlined. Okay, perfect. Okay. I think that looks fairly reasonable. I think we're gonna add these changes. Let's see. Oh, the one thing, the pair of the snack bar. Snack bar is Q, please. The lock here, right? So the paired snack bars. I believe we do still need to lock on these guys. because pair, well, hold on. Pair is internal, so we know something about it. Snackbar message you clean up. This guy, where do you get invoked from? Find all references. Is it possible to invoke you from a background thread? Oh, you are only invoked here. Ah, that's why. Okay, guess we don't need the lock. I will take the free perf. Okay, back to here. Small cleanup and push, and we will come back over here and do approved. And thank you. And we will let the CI system run on that. Let's see here. This is going in 3.2. Oh, I could not reproduce it. Let's see. Snackbar, while closing the application remains stalled. I'm gonna call this a bug and bring it forward, because the hang that was occurring before, I think, was actually fixed previously by another PR that. Actually, let's see if I can find it real quick. There was another one that we did very recently where the task wasn't being properly closed. And I believe that was probably it. This one too, I wanted to call attention to. So, a very subtle change. You can now, on the root level dictionaries for your base theme, before you could only specify light or dark. Now Inherit is a choice. On Windows 10, it will look and see if you are running light or dark theme, and it will pick the material design theme based on that. So you can now set Inherit up at the top, and it will work. If it's unable to detect it, it's just looking at a registry key. It will default back to light. So if you don't like that and you want to pull it, you can do that. So fun little thing I threw in there. Let's see. Update icons, refactoring. Boy, I'm not crazy, right? There was a attempt to reattempt clicks. Oh, right. That was the UI testing stuff. Where is the... Boy, I must not know where that is. But we are going to bring this guy through like that. Show all checks. That was remarkably fast. Yeah, I was gonna say that was creepy fast, especially for something saying it took 6 minutes. There's that. There's that. You're gonna come forward. Let's jump back to the pull request and see what else is in here. Update numeric up down to more closely match other fields. Ooh, I love this. I love it when people make UI changes and include images and GIFs. If you're looking for a great thing to do these GIFs, screen to GIF, this is what I like to use. It is a wonderful tool. Works great. A lot of times when you see this type of stuff, that's what people are using. Let's see. Change the background to transparent. Applied. So this is all around here. Great. Love it. So right out the gate, I'm going to go and slap on the Ma Apps label. And let's take a look at this guy and see what got changed. So transparent background rather than flowing through the theme background. Might have to look at that. The only thing I don't necessarily like about that is, well, I'll go and look. I don't know how the other text boxes are working. Let's see. Numeric up down sets to transparent. Oh man, this is going to be a heck of a diff to look at. New plan. Just jump over to here. Let's see, I think, we'll call this numeric up down. Go. See if that works a little better. Okay. Where are we going? Where are we going? We are going to switch over to the Ma apps one, set a startup, fire in the hole. Come on, go, 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 go. That is not a good sign. Ma app style button square accent. That tells me something is off. And apparently I did not grab that on my clipboard. Let's fire that up one more time. So I do love how it gives me line number and position, but not the file. That's half of a useful error message. For some reason, I thought we had fixed this. Is this based on a really old... No, I mean, this is a fairly recent... I feel like I've fixed this bug multiple times now. Yeah, okay, because I'm trying to remember exactly what this... So if we jump over to, let's see, GitHub Maps, there's, it's very easy. They keep good notes, and if you just search their repo for that thing, maybe I'm getting confused. Styles and templates. So accent square to square accent. So this is in the 2.0 release. This seems like I didn't load up the 2.0 version of the library. What is going on here? So packages. Oh, this is still using the old one. So that's the problem. We should update our packet dependencies. So ma apps metro 2.0. Let's grab a terminal here real quick. And let's see, dev. Come on. Right? Huh? My tab completion broken? Oh, right. Wrong drive letter. Okay, that's mild panic when you think for a moment that you're missing something. Okay, so let's see, dot packet packet. I believe it's update because I've got the version here set to rev to 2.0. This would probably not be an issue for clean checkouts because this guy here should rev up. But I think it's because I previously had the 2.0 alpha downloaded that it didn't properly restore. Ah, 2.01 is now available. Lovely. Okay. And then, as per usual, unload, reload, because packet is mostly cool, but occasionally causes issues. Let's just check what all did you swap out on me. So my apps went from 2.0 to 2.01, cleaned up a bunch of stuff that was unneeded, and revved up my X unit runner. Okay, cool. Build successful. Let's relaunch. I assume, there we go. Relaunch just fine. Okay, so you'll notice that this app started in dark theme without me needing to do anything. And this is simply because of the inherit set. Where's my Solutions Explorer there? Back on the left where you belong. Stay. Good boy. Because my base theme is set to inherit, it knows that it noticed my Windows settings are dark theme. And away we go. Is calling out too that there's probably some cleanup in this demo app that should be done, because clearly this does not look very good. Let's see. Numeric up down. So I'm a little concerned about that. That doesn't appear to look right. Something is off here, right? So there is that, which is great, but the screenshots from the pull request don't match the demo. Let's go back and look at this. Yeah, because there should be 3. Right? Is this... So this is in the theming library. So it looks like, clear the filters, that there is nothing, no changes to the demo app. It is really hard to see in that. Let's do this. Alternate style, dark. That's a lot easier to see, but now I'm mildly concerned that I've got a different bug, right? Specifically one that's not being set appropriately on startup. But overall, I don't see an issue with this. I am curious to know how our other text boxes handle background. If they are transparent or if they just take the theme background. So once again, you'll note this guy flowed through into dark theme, which is great. Let's see. Fields. And now if I go through here and change this up, right, and set the background to red. So much for hot reload. Oh, do I have it not turned on? Thought I had. Let's relaunch. Because I'm curious how ours end up looking, because there shouldn't be any background set on any of these guys. I would expect to see a lot of red here. Let's see. Fields, lots of red. There's a field of red. So the text boxes are transparent. Okay. Good enough for me. I do want to try this one more time and see if the fact that the MAApp's color themes didn't come through, I don't think it's a bug with this pull request. I think it's a bug with some theming stuff that we have. Because it looks like not all the brushes are getting applied right away. Which would not be a good thing. Okay, so there's that. So MAApps. Yeah, and that is It's interesting that this thing was not all the way in the dark switch, which kind of scares me. It definitely makes me question, because now when I flip it all the way over, I'm getting to this. So it makes me assume that there's a bug in my other code. But as far as this pull request goes, I think this looks great. We can ship it. All right, so let's double check here. I don't think there's a reason those changes don't need to go. I think we're going to do the packet stuff outside of this. So I'm going to just merge this PR in. Let's see. And I think I'm going to throw enhancement on here and potentially release notes. We'll see. And then this goes into 320. Comment, squash merge. Squash. Come on. Come on. I know I expect responsiveness, GitHub. Okay, so that guy's there. I think our other one finished. Squash merge. And then I'm going to pick up this issue here and call it as closed. Because it should be. I think it actually got cleaned up by a different PR, but that it's at least cleared by that point. So let's jump back to there. Cool. So we'll check these ones. These ones I'm guessing is going to look a lot like the last ones. Set auto generate style. Boom, boom, boom. Unit tests across all the attached properties. Yeah. I hope I'm not butchering the name. Oli. He's been going through and adding in more tests for all of the assist classes and cleaning all of those up. Just cleaning up the implementations, updating the code styles on all of these. He's just been going file by file, and so it's been great having all of this stuff just flow through here and everything get cleaned up. Did notice set generated. Ah, got it. This is the callback, which can be private. These guys. Okay. Okay. We're good there. I just wanted to make sure that it was the callback that was being invoked. So even little things that just convert away from that into the pattern matching, which is great. Auto generate column, unregister, re-register, cleanup. All the thickness. Date update, preview. Direct edit without focus. Okay. Allow editing of components inside. Sorry, just checking this against the original source. So what is going on here? Because is this a behavioral change? So data grid cell. So it's going from the original source. Interesting. So what is the change here? So before I kind of want to check this guy. Preview list mouse button down. Got it. So this guy here is going to grab the dependency object that the mouse down event triggers on for the original source, grabs the visual ancestry, walks up looking for the first data grid cell that it finds. If the data grid cell is read-only or not found, we'll early exit. And oh, interesting. We had multiple casts and recasts. Oh, yuck. So mouse event args get position, element hitbox, current cell. So this is largely the same code as what was here. Let's see. This is now doing a switch on the type of checkbox, combo box. Let's see here, which is what these guys were doing before. Yeah, because it was trying to check and see if it was. This says toggle button. I'm wondering if this is a subtle mistake. This, because checkbox I believe derives from toggle button, so I'm wondering if this should be toggle button. And I want to confirm real quick. I'm fairly confident that let's see, checkbox derives from toggle button if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Let's see. Boom. So we'll leave that one there for the minute because I kind of want to get feedback on that. Let's jump. And let's see. Numeric up, down. That merged, that merged. We're going to pull up on master. And then I kind of want to check that theming issue because that concerns me more than anything, right? Is something is not appropriately setting the theme. And it's, oh, I thought I had chased all of these down too. Styles, controls. Oh, how many bugs do I want to chase right now? It's already 11. One bug at a time. One bug at a time. Okay, so this guy here. Try get resource dictionaries. I think this is it, right? Like this is the same toggle that would get applied on the theme change. But I don't know if those toggles in the app are using the newer code or not. Let's see, palette selector, view model. What are you going through? Let's see. Oh, I wonder if it's the inherit that's doing it. Because I'm willing to bet if I... Let's just do this real quick, right? Or actually, more accurately, if I do... Well, we'll start with light and verify light works. And then I'm willing to bet that there's a bug there. Yeah, so let's get rid of that breakpoint for the moment and let it run. So this guy here, my apps, numeric up, down, stuff looks fine. Huh. Okay. Validation works, etc. Right? We come over here, go dark mode, theme change fires, which is great, does the stuff. Did bother me that that thing didn't update immediately, but it could have just been the alternate. Okay. Okay, so that is there, right? So now if I switch this over and say start as dark, let's see if this guy has the same flaw. go here. That's fine. So it's ultimately the inherit that's the problem. Great. That's what we wanted to see. Let's see, I want to refresh that one more time just to make sure that that toggle starts where I expect. So on the palette thing, this toggle's wrong, which concerns me a little bit because that should have been in the other state. Palette selective view model. So how are you set? Let's start there. Let's see. So data templates, toggle button. So binding command parameter path is checked. So this guy isn't bound to anything. So there's no way to change his default state, which is a bit problematic, I would say. This means it's a one-way communication street. This guy's always just setting and makes the sweeping assumption that his starting theme is always going to be light. Not a great assumption. Not going to lie. So that needs to get bound to something. We can do that. It'd actually be a good example of showing the two different ways of doing this. So let's just do that real quick. So what is it? Is checked. It's going to get a binding. Let's see. So on true, let's see which way was this going. So is dark theme, right? And then we don't need any of these anymore, right? And so on our view model, what we will do is we will create a new bindable property. Public bool is dark theme, right? So it's going to be backed by a private field is dark theme is dark theme set. Let's see, I think we have a, isn't there, we don't have one, and this guy doesn't raise I notify property changed. Property changed. It'd be easier if I wasn't debugging. Let's start with that. So yeah, do that for me, please. Come on. Use. Thank you. Implement the event. That is not where I would like the event declared. Thank you for asking. Go up at the top. Okay, so that goes there. Now we're going to see, I think there's a set or a, I thought we had some built-in stuff for this, but we'll just do it the old-fashioned way. Is dark theme not equal to value? Then set the backing field, and then property changed, null check this new property changed event args. There are numerous ways to make this better, but they all require bringing something in, and I'm just interested in getting this done. Okay, so there's that. For anybody who wants an easy one, there's an extension method that we use over in the other demo app. It'd be nice to have something similar over here. And so this guy is bound. And the last thing we need to do is when this changes, right? So we are going to apply base, right, with the new value. Boom. So we'll let the toggle finish, and then we'll do this. So we no longer need toggle base command. That is gone. And all of you guys use expression body. We'll just clean all of you up and go to simple mode for now. don't need that. Or that. Actually, don't need that trailing white space either. Okay, so that cleans all of that up. Cleans all of that up. What are you hinting here? Expression body for constructor. I kind of like my constructors with bodies. Okay, so that should fix the startup problem at least. No, it won't. Not if I don't set the property to anything. So let's go back up here, and actually I guess we're going to do this. Boom, right? Because I need to get my current theme out of there. Let's see. How do I know if you're dark theme or not? There's a way to know, and I might have to go look at the other demo app to remember what that is. Let's see. Palette something or another. Palette selector. Apply base, apply primary, apply accents, modify theme. Oh, do you have the same bug? Well, that would be unfortunate. Now I'm curious. Did I add the same bug into both demo apps when I added the automatically use my Windows theme? Well, this might be a problem. Let's see. Sure, palette. Yeah, look at that. That one's not set either. That one's not set. That's not set. Oh man. Oh man, look at that. Look at that. Get base theme. That's what I want. That is not quite. So clean that code up while we're in here. Get base theme gives me that, but I want to know what the theme is. I want to be able to retrieve the base theme out of this guy. Right? Why do I not have a good way of getting this? I can set base theme, right? But I got no way to retrieve it once I set it. Well, that just seems dumb. Clean that up while I'm in here. Hush. I understand. I'm debugging. You're unhappy. Because when you set the theme, what counts as base theme dark and light is the question, right? So there is a system. Yeah. So if you're wanting to know the system theme, right, you can pull it from here. So this is the method that's being used, right, to determine which one to use. I keep just cleaning these up as I find them. And so I guess the question comes. Well, maybe I might have to add myself a bug to go through and finish fixing this, because what I really want to write is something that's, rather than set base theme that takes in one, right? I want to get the base theme specifically. So what is this? Theme extensions, right? So I really want this method, right, to exist, but rather than this, I want the return to be the enum value, and I think it needs to be nullable because there's a very real chance we might not get it. I want this to be an I theme, right, to take in the theme. And what I really want it to do is go through and compare and see if the brushes in here match one of these built-in themes, which like 95% of the time will probably be the case, unless somebody's rolling their own custom theme. Because if you start changing these brushes, I don't know whether that's a dark theme or a light theme, right? There's no SETI of that. So that would be the null return. I'm thinking that is what. I'll go ahead and expression body that guy too. I'm thinking that's what I want, is I want to write this method such that I can retrieve the dark and the light theme. So apparently I've introduced a bug specifically around retrieving the light and the dark themes. So let's not worry about setting this view model just yet. Let's go back and concern ourselves with the issue that when we apply the theme, it doesn't appear to be doing what we expect. Specifically, this guy here, when he goes to apply the theme, why is it that this doesn't appear to work the way I expect? So go ahead and start this guy. So this is still in the Ma apps bundled theme. And the part that confuses me is the theme changed clearly works, which is going through this same code. That is the wrong app. Let's try this again. Because I'm more concerned with the fact that on initial launch, like the toggle being in the wrong position is annoying, right? That's fine. I'm a little curious. This just does a removal of dictionaries. This retrieved it. Merge dictionaries. It's going to add in the dark one. So hold on, what just happened here? So because this called try get resource dictionaries with the theme, right? So both of these are going to call this. Both of these are going to call here with a light and a dark, a secondary and a base. And then this should set up all of the stuff needed for Ma apps, going through the new theme manager stuff that they have. So what? This pulled the theme manager off of it, which is fine. Oh wait, does the theme manager have? Oh, this guy here is the resource dictionary. Not overly helpful. I don't think theme manager. Yeah, theme manager just notifies you of changes. I do wonder if perhaps he should also allow you to retrieve the theme. That might make a little more sense, but you only get the theme manager off a resource dictionary, so it's a little weird, right? Because he actually lives inside. The instances here is actually stored inside the resource dictionary. So he builds that up. I'm very, very confused. So, oh, so that's now working. Wait. Aha. Inherit. You'll note the theme manager change triggered there just by me editing the Xaml. Great. So let's see, try get resource dictionary. This is why. Base theme is not set. Base theme is inherit. So it's never triggering there. Whereas down here it's going to fall into the ternary. This is almost assuredly the bug. So before it wasn't setting it. Now if we go here, we trigger, right? Background, foreground. So if foreground is black, so you'll note this is using the contrasting one. So if the contrasting color is black, meaning the background was a light color, right? Then we invert the base theme. Actually, this isn't a bad way of doing it. This might actually be a reasonable implementation for that other method. Regardless, this guy here then works. So the problem being that ultimately this needs to get implemented. So that's fine. We can do this. Case WPF base theme inherit. Right? So we'll fix this guy here. And trying to decide the easiest way to go about doing this. So this guy has already built up this. It's interesting that this is hunting out the base theme. But then it doesn't pass it through. So that's actually a worthless variable because it pulls out both themes is how it ultimately works. So let's do switch. Let's see, theme get. How about WPF theme? Get system theme. Right, and so this guy here is going to return one of several values. Technically light, dark, or null. There's no other option here, so we're only going to concern ourselves with that. And so I think actually what we're going to do is we're going to go dark. We'll get set, and everything else will just default back to light. So I think what I want then is I do want that this guy here, right? So if we look back, not that, this one, I really want theme get base theme, because right now all I have is set base theme, right? Boom. And I really want public static base theme get base theme, this iTheme, right? So we're going to do that. We are going to null check this guy because that is a thing that can happen. And then I think what we're going to do is actually steal this guy's logic for dark and light, because that actually looked like a reasonable implementation. It's effectively doing that. Take me there, please. Thank you. So we are going to grab the theme's background and we'll just base it on that. And then we will return it. All right. So because the get contrasting foreground is always either going to return light or dark. There are no other options. Clean that up, clean that up. So if that's the case, this doesn't really need to be nullable. Right? There is no null case anymore. I'm wondering if I shouldn't call this get dark. I wonder if get is a little misleading. I think it's probably okay. Only because it's not, again, for the case of custom themes, it's pretty misleading, right? It's dark theme gets base theme. So we're going to do that. And that should fix this one, and then we'll have the other demo app to fix too. And I think I'm going to call it after I fix these guys. So let's see, that goes there, boom, boom. Yeah. I'm curious why that guy triggered. I don't remember that triggering before. But now this is actually appropriately set. Great. We come over here. You'll note this is already on dark mode, which is what you expect. Click to toggle the light. Great, great, great. Which means we now have a reasonable implementation of looking that up. Great. Which means this guy can really do new theme get base theme, right? So that's now a legit thing. We don't need that. We've got it all wrapped up in a nice little extension method that everyone can use. Great. And yeah, so that'll either return you a light or a dark based on its best guess of what you got. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just create a branch and pick this up at another point. If I don't get back to it before tomorrow, tomorrow's Thursday. Tomorrow's my normal streaming day. Might pick this up again tomorrow. So let's go with get, I don't know, theme fixes. Yeah, sure. Great. So we're going to start here. Yeah. Let's see. Work in progress. Setting demo apps up. So theme toggles match state. This was a bug after implementing inherit for default color theme. So we'll do something like that, push that, and then I think I will probably call it there and pick it up again tomorrow. So for anyone who is able to join tomorrow, I'll say see you then. Happy coding.